All right, so you are a new
So I'll
client.
need to create an account.
Right. And things are going to run a little slow, and there are still bugs and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I've kind of messed with it, so if you run into something that is a bug, I'll, point it out
Okay.
to you.
I'm not used to this small of a keyboard.
I know. This is Jess's computer from the other
Oh, okay.
office. It was always funny that she had such a big computer with a little tiny keyboard.
Yes.
So how does it feel walking through the steps as you're going through right now?
Fairly easy to create an account.
Mm-hmm.
I guess a lot of it, like you need to have the confirm email and all that. There's no way to shorten it to just do less, I guess, is kind of what I would think.
Like it's a couple too many steps, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, I want to just get to where I need to be. So I like to not have, too many steps.
Right.
Say, enter your name in an email.
Right.
I'm sure this is necessary for some market. There's a rhyme and reason behind it for marketing purposes.
Mm-hmm. Personal information to it. Do you think that it's been the vertical? Are you looking for it? Is it following your eye?
I would almost recommend just going all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, vertical is probably gonna, or not vertical, sorry, excuse me,
Fine.
but broken up, it doesn't look like as much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, normally when someone has to scroll down and see everything, you're gonna say, I don't want to fill everything out.
Right. Maybe a barrier of some sort. Do you usually tab through, or do you click on it with the mouse?
I normally tab through, but just because of the keyboard, I'm using a little bit of both right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a option for?
No, you can say, it doesn't matter, you can say whatever you want on that.
Okay.
Because none of this it's all the development, so it's not going to go to you're not going to get any of this stuff, so if you opt in.
I would definitely be opting out. I mean,
okay.
I don't know how many people, I don't know what the research normally shows, but I feel like I always opt out.
Okay.
I don't have to click any of them then if I don't want either. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I automatically thought that you had to click.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm just kind of looking at like if I would actually want to go to this one and
Right.
where it is and location to where I am.
Okay, now the information on the phone number and all that stuff is not correct.
No, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, so don't pay any attention to that. Just look to see if that's something that.
So like one that I know of is one right by where your old office was, and that's probably where I would go.
Okay.
But just because, I mean, I'm not as fond of the Poplar Level area compared to Bardstown Road.
Okay.
So I can change, correct?
Yes.
Do I have to, I mean, do you know how to do, I wouldn't know how to do this. I don't think it says like choose different salon.
Well,
so I guess up here, didn't find the salon, that's the one. So what I would probably say is make it a little bit, or maybe have all of these pop up right away.
Right, instead of narrowing it down.
Yes.
Okay.
I think this is the one I was talking about, but I don't think that it does a really good job of where it, I don't like the map either, because like right here I'm thinking that when it says Poplar Level, I'm thinking more of like the Germantown, like Goss Ave, when it's really
that's
closer to the hospital on Poplar Level.
right.
So I would probably have the map zoomed in a little bit more, because I mean if it's one within 5 miles from where you live, you're gonna know that area.
Right.
So that's something that I would, so I'm going to select this one.
Okay.
And then continue. So now I need to go into my email.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about having to go?
I don't like that at all.
Okay.
That I have to go in to get the email essentially.
What don't you like about it?
It's just an extra step in the process, I feel.
Mhm.
I think that it should just prompt you into the other page, like straight in.
Right. I understand what you're saying.
Okay, so thank you for setting up your account. We're excited to have you. You're almost done. You just need to validate the email. But I want to see if... Okay, so that's what it's supposed to look like.
Right.
So I don't think you guys probably have any way to change that. It's all email.
That they still one of those things that's still up in the air.
Okay.
It looked like it opened a separate tab.
Yes.
What did you think? What do you think about that?
Well, again, it's just another step, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this is one that everyone I just feel you click what I'm never gonna read it.
Right.
I mean, this is just so much, but I mean, I know you guys have to have it.
What do you think about? So, if you open the terms and conditions up again, how do you think?
Maybe if it was larger, you would read more.
Okay.
Like you could at least click on it and get a gist of what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe when we go into the store, I don't know if there's a way to remind you, like, oh, here's your e-club.
Mm-hmm. Like a printout of...
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sure people will throw that out anyways, though, and
Well,
never read
you know,
it.
all of your insight is good, and even if somebody said it before, it still is.
So I'm gonna go ahead and continue.
Okay.
So again, this pop-up have you seen this before?
Yes, and that can be, I trust this site, do not alert me again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's something that you guys probably
I
can't
think
get
that's
rid of?
a Mac thing that keeps popping
Okay.
up with. Okay, so you're still creating your account.
Yes.
And how's this feeling?
Pretty good.
Okay. Do you understand? Like,
I don't think that, like, I mean, maybe if there was, like, a color, like, for, like, eye color, like, do I have dark brown, or do I have, almost black?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if there's, like, a color next to it, so
Mhm.
that you could, like, I think I'm really pale, but would someone that hasn't seen, the sun and...
Right.
So what's pale with a beige tint versus very pale?
Right.
I would say, again, many, do I think that's many, or do I think that's,
Right. It's all relative.
Yes. Okay. Nothing good happens when I stay in the sun too long.
This is what's called a Fitzpatrick test. Whenever you set up an account with a tanning salon.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, there's no right or wrong.
Yeah. I'm just trying to pick the one that I think is going to fit best.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of the drop-down boxes?
I would almost, right? I think that it's not enough space in between. Like, I'm getting, I see choose,
Mm-hmm.
3 different times, and I'm trying to find the 5 that I'm actually supposed to be choosing from.
Right.
So I think that's a little, maybe if there's more space.
Right.
Like 3 months ago. Sorry, I didn't read that question. Did you expose the area? Okay. That question I don't like. I have to read it 3 times to ask, to figure out what they're actually asking.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna continue. That's what I would probably have said.
Mm-hmm. So it matches with what you...
Yeah, either, I mean, definitely one or two, I mean, maybe, because I burn easily, but I wouldn't say, I mean, if I don't have sunscreen on, I'm burnt.
Right.
So I guess if there was a question in there of like, you know, do you use sunscreen and what happens then?
Perfect, yeah. Is there anything else on that page that you expect to see or wish to see or don't like that you see on there?
No, I mean, I think this is okay. I don't see anything that I really dislike. Again, I mean, the disclaimer, I'm sure I'm not going to read it, but I can imagine what it says just from knowing about tanning booths and all the guidelines and everyone trying to say, especially for a person like my skin, don't go.
Right.
So I'm going to continue. I would probably skip this, to be honest.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't listen to it normally.
Our mission at Suntan City is to provide the best results to our clients.
I see that it's 3 minutes, and
environment.
If I'm trying
at
to create
Suntan City,
account,
we have 4 tanning beds.
I want to like actually get to the end of where I'm trying to go. I mean, I don't know what the rest holds in here, but
you can go on it.
So I probably wouldn't listen to that.
You'd automatically jump to
the next page.
Sure.
So now I can check in. So this is like I can check in now, so I don't have to wait when I get there. Is that an option?
It is not an option for new clients, which is what you're considered to be in this format right now, because they want you to go to a salon. That way you can be seen by somebody and have a little bit more personal feel before you. So they don't let new clients. In the future.
So once I check in at a salon once, I can start going online. Okay. I like the wait times. I would definitely, I mean, in today's society, I feel like no one wants to ever wait anywhere. And obviously you always want to, can you pay online? Okay, so I'm going to get started.
Alright, so this is your page.
Okay.
What do you think of what you're seeing?
I don't love it. I don't love this pop-up because, I mean, like you said, I don't even know my options. I haven't talked to anyone, so I probably wouldn't sign in immediately. I would probably create an account after already knowing that someone's helped me through this.
Okay.
But maybe it's easier, so I'm going to view service options right now just to see.
Sure. So you're looking at your services. What are you saying about this page? What does it make you think?
I would like to see prices like right away without having to click. I'm sure that once I get in here, it tells me. But maybe like starting at, so that like you at least know, a guest pass is $49, and then you can get more information, or $17.99. The one that I would go to is definitely the sunless, because that's what was recommended, so that's what I would want to know. And that's probably what I would always get. What I would probably be interested in is, I'm assuming down here, the 7 visit. But it doesn't tell me, like, is that 7 visits in 1 year, or... So I'd probably want more detail. But again, if I'm going to stop in, they're going to tell me that information.
But if you didn't, then you wouldn't exactly.
Exactly. So I would want to know, because that's what I'm interested in is probably doing the sunless and like getting it, once, maybe 3 to 4 times a year.
Right.
So I don't see one that you can just pay per visit.
Okay.
So that's another one that for someone like me that I don't tan a lot, but if I'm going to a wedding, I might actually not even want sunless because I've never had a sunless, but I hear that, you know, your orange or in between your fingers, it doesn't, you know, it's not great.
Right.
So I'd probably be interested in one of the other beds.
Right.
And I would like to know what the fast level bed is compared to the multi-level. It doesn't really seem like doesn't say like, does the multi-level tan you quicker and harder, you know, not harder, but more.
Okay, so that's an excellent point. You wanted to know the difference in the beds.
Yes.
Where would you go to do that? Do you think you can find that out on this website? Would you look for it?
I'd probably go back to look for it. And then I'm assuming somewhere like probably maybe My Education.
Okay.
So here I'm assuming this is it. Beds and booths. And I just saw that same video popped up. So if I had listened to the video, so I'd probably just look through. I mean, it seems like it's going from like the least strong to the strongest beds, and then down at the bottom.
Answering the questions that you had as far as bed differences and the things that it tells you about each bed.
Yes.
Are you finding? Okay.
I'd probably want to watch some of the videos because, like, right here it says that it helps minimize the redding of the skin, but I mean, what's the difference between that and just a base tan? Why can't is the base tan going to leave me more red, but it's a little bit less harsh on my skin?
Right.
So that would be something that I would probably want to know, but maybe if I watched the videos, it would tell me.
Our fast bed is not only a terrific value, but it's also a great way to slowly build your base tan. Most fast beds are 20-minute sessions. Stop by your local Suntan City. There, one of our knowledgeable tanning consultants will help you find the best products and services to suit all of your needs.
What did you think about the video?
I actually found myself looking away, so I wasn't really listening to the video. I was listening, but I wasn't watching the video.
Okay.
And I'm going to just listen to this one as well because I'm interested in one that doesn't make me look red.
Right.
The Instant Bed is the best bed at Suntan City. With 5 to 10 times better results, you're going to achieve your base tan in only 2 to 3 sessions. Not to mention, only 2 to 4 visits a month will maintain your glow. Let yourself shine in our best bed.
I watched that one all the way through, but I think I was focusing more because I realized that I wasn't listening. Honestly, I don't think that it shows any of the, like, I think it just tells you what it's already telling you right here. It's not showing you the difference, or, I mean, I don't know if there's really a way to show, okay, this is day one of someone, I would maybe put that in a video.
Okay.
Of, here's someone with your type, a type 2 or type 3.
Right.
Again, would someone really watch that though? I don't know.
Right. Okay. No, that's great. Well, okay, so our next thing that I'm going to have you do is just go ahead and try and change your address, change your billing address.
Okay. So I'm going to go to my profile, I would assume.
Okay.
And then edit my account information. And then right here. So is there just anything?
Whatever you want.
Do you want me to stay in Louisville?
No, you can go out of Louisville if you like.
Well, I guess that's not I wouldn't know.
It doesn't have to be.
Oh, okay. I'm going to do Elizabethtown then.
Sure, yeah.
Because I know you guys have a couple down there.
Certainly do.
And then 40. Let's try
wrong.
that.
Did you expect it to give you an error if you type something?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So I don't think that it does. And I would have expected it to tell me that there's a new address.
A new
tanning station within that address, or at least help me. Elizabethtown, maybe it would pop up, oh, you're talking about Elizabethtown, here are 3.
The way that it did when you first started?
Yes.
Okay.
So when there's an address change, maybe you can pop up or say there's nothing with it. Quite possibly this is going to show up that there's nothing, and maybe it says check your zip code, because obviously the zip code's, I would assume, not correct.
Right. We're going to move on to purchasing a package.
Well, it looks like I'm already here.
Okay.
So I would just probably stick right here and purchase a monthly membership. Okay. So I can choose any one. If that's the case, I'm going to choose a sunless. And it seems like there were more when I first went. Is there one that you want me to?
No, you can pick whichever membership package you would like.
Okay. I would like to know what a Friends and Family Club Sun monthly is.
Okay.
If I'm going to click to see if it tells me more. So first thing that I see is that right now it's only $17.74, but then it's telling me that it was $49.99.
Right.
Can I actually go back to see what they told me the price was?
Sure.
Because I thought I was clicking on 17. Okay. Sorry, I was only looking at the prorated, so it does tell the monthly cost. So it's prorated because it's January 20th right now, and then it will jump to $49.
Right.
Okay.
Do you like having it broken out, or would it prefer it broken out a different way?
I think it's okay. I think I just missed it because but I'm looking at, I think maybe if it said like due now, and then like maybe said due February to tell you, oh, you're buying a 40, because my eyes are drawn to the lower cost.
Right.
So, or maybe say $49.99, and then when you get to this page, say prorated, because like I said, I'm looking for the lowest cost. So I don't believe we have a promo, and then I just use this, correct?
It should be a credit card. So.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Okay.
No, that's perfectly fine.
And I would probably say have it automatically go to a credit card, because more people are going to be paying on. Very rarely do I pay using my checking and savings account. I normally would use
default to the credit card.
Credit or debit.
Okay.
That's what I would recommend.
Okay.
And then I can put in my own information and just use that number right there.
Do you always think to type it in, or do you think to look for something that's already saved to pre-populate?
I always do. So I didn't even see that this online account address. I didn't even think to click that.
Nope.
I automatically just started typing.
Okay.
So maybe populate it automatically, the address, is something that I would recommend.
Okay.
And say, then say not your address and have it clear. It would be automatically clear as soon as you unclick that box.
Right.
Or because nothing's worse than having to delete. Okay, and I'm gonna save this card and use this card for payment due today. One thing I would wonder is, can you pay at a later date since you're not tanning at that moment?
Okay. I don't have the answer to that. But
that's fine.
It's a great question.
Yeah. So can payment due upon first, check-in. I don't know if that's something that you can do, but I wouldn't want to buy if I'm only going to use one time in February, but I'm setting this up just so I could use it. Is one thing that I would think of. But I'm going to go ahead and purchase. Just looking through to make sure everything's all right.
Okay. Is everything looking how you expect it to look?
Yes.
You expect things to look.
Maybe I would I would like to maybe see the next 6 months. So February, $49.99, in the date that it's gonna come out. Because nothing's worse than you're swiping your card, and the next thing you know, you have $50 automatically taken out, and you're like, whoa, what was that? I forgot.
On that, yeah.
So I don't know if that's something that's also in the profile of the date that it's going to be taken out, the price, and I don't know if there's a way to do the taxes already in there, so you know exactly on your credit card statement, $51.29.
Right. Rather than having to separately do that.
Yes.
I understand that.
So again, I accept the membership agreement. I don't know if there maybe one suggestion is I've seen before like a more concise, like this statement, this is a statement, but then if there's a way to, like a concise description of what this agreement is, because I'm sure if I click on it that, it would probably have been a couple pages long.
Right.
So maybe if it just said like, Suntan City, you agreed to pay blah, 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 in accordance to something.
Right.
I'm not good with any legal terms, so I'm sure
No,
I'll leave the description up to the lawyer.
So now you're having to sign your name again.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I think that you can just click the box. Is kind of would be easier. I know a lot of other companies do that, but I don't know if that's legally allowed, but it would be great to say I accept, and the next one is a box clicking your name. Or if it populates Shannon William at, Shannon William or S. William right up here, so you just have to click.
Okay.
I know I'm probably making it very difficult for...
No, your feedback is great. Eventually, we'll
do it all over again.
We can move on to another sort of purchase, and then we'll see if it works that way, because it could just be a bug.
So, just pick another one? Is that what you would recommend?
Why don't you try some upgrade dollars?
Okay.
What do you think about?
Again, I would like to see what these upgrade dollars actually are without having to go back to the page that you sent me to.
Right.
So I don't really know what I'm truly getting with these upgrade dollars.
Okay.
But what I would choose is the sunless, because that's what I've already chosen. So I'm assuming that I'm getting $50 more, but I don't really know what that is giving me.
Okay.
So maybe so I would like using my preferred payment on file. I'm going to click that.
Okay.
So it looks like that already populated. That's awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and purchase. I'm looking over it because I jumped to this step. Okay, so it tells me a little bit more right here, but maybe if that had it on the previous page. So, and I don't see anywhere that tells me that I have to, like, pay. Remember how it told me the first one made me pay, but this one doesn't?
Right.
Or, like, confirm my payment, and sign, and... Okay.
Let's say you wanted to change something else in your profile.
So I would just go right now back to my profile. I mean, that's what I automatically think. I don't know if there's a shorter cut.
Okay. No,
But
you automatically think to go.
Yes.
Okay.
But I haven't looked over. I haven't even looked at this side of the page, so I feel like there's a big blank area. Like, that's something that I just noticed. Like, is there something over here that I can get to quicker? Like, I'm assuming this is to chat with some. Oh, I would have thought it was chat, but so it's just a notification. So I feel like there's a big.
Notifications does it?
It just, I don't have any, so I don't know if it doesn't tell you what to expect. But that's something that I noticed, that all of my focus is right here. Right. It is on the left-hand side.
Okay.
So I haven't, and the sign, but then sign out's all the way over here.
Right.
So why, maybe if it went across, you would be viewing more of the page, but maybe it's just I don't know, maybe it's the fact that we have a bigger screen here.
Right.
Maybe it shows up normal on others, like on a regular size screen.
What do you think of this page? Now that you're just sitting here kind of looking at the whole thing, taking it all in.
Well, one question I have is, why can't I do the online feature until I check in? I know, I understand that there are benefits, but what if I didn't want to talk to someone?
Mm-hmm.
Is there that option to say, is there a way to just be like, well, why am I being not necessarily discriminated against for being a new client, but
Mm-hmm.
I got this to never have to speak to someone.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
So I don't know if there's a rhyme. I'm sure there's a rhyme or reason, but
Right. But as a new client,
yes, you're
Okay.
like, oh well, why do I have to go one time?
mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's. I mean, I understand because I want someone to tell me more,
Mm-hmm.
and I like rather than trying to read it on my own. It's always easier when the expert's explaining it to you. But I can see certain people would say the reason I signed up was to do the whole, like check in now and
Mm-hmm.
beat the weights. So, one thing I'm interested in is this double dipping. So the sunbed and the sunless.
And so you were interested in it, so you went down
And looked at the question or hit the question mark to get
Okay.
more information. I would dismiss this right away because I feel like that pops up and
Okay.
you can't really. I mean, you can see behind, but you don't want to miss something.
Okay. Why don't you change your salon that you prefer?
Okay, so I'm assuming that I'm gonna do view nearby,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna change to this salon. And I think that this doesn't have to come back up. I think that I already understand. Hopefully, if I've dismissed this, then I've already hopefully read that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of looking through to see the wait times, but it doesn't tell you right now. Like maybe if it just said tan now for this faster, I guess it does, but I don't see it as like when I'm looking at it. I don't understand why there's a drop down then.
Okay.
So why doesn't it just say tan now without having to drop down?
Okay.
But I'm assuming if I click it, then I check in. But what if I could just click automatically?
Yeah.
Without having a drop down, you just click.
Mm-hmm. I understand that.
So that's what I see like this one has 2, so I can understand that one having a drop down. But this one's only 1, so couldn't you just click?
Mm-hmm.
That's one suggestion that I would
Okay.
maybe say.
Let's try. Or go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, if there's a wait, maybe have the drop down. Maybe the drop down. I don't see any of them that have a wait, so maybe the drop down's there for you to pick.
Right.
Down the road, like I want to go at 6 p.m. tonight since 3 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
is booked.
Right.
But I mean, maybe only do that when that's the.
If there's not.
Yes.
Right.
Or automatically just to view my membership and see if I can change it there.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna do change membership is what I would assume, just by looking through. So yeah, I can't do it here. I can't. No upgrades.
And so you're looking for.
I'm looking for it to automatically say yearly or
Mm-hmm.
Well, that wasn't it. So I'm gonna have to go back.
Okay.
And then what it looks like I'm gonna have to do is change it to a new membership and cancel my old one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's a better option, but that's what I would probably do.
That's how it's making sense to you right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
That there's no other way to change it. At least I didn't see it when I clicked here. I mean, that's what I would automatically go to, but
Right.
it doesn't appear like I have that option. So what I would do is make a new membership, or see what the packages include, and then freeze this one.
Okay.
But I don't know if there's a better way, so I'm gonna go that route.
That's fine.
So I'm gonna do an annual because we want yearly. I'm gonna do the sunless bed.
Is this working exactly how you expected, or do you expect something?
I was expecting maybe different options.
What do you mean by different options?
Like maybe different prices. Like maybe a little bit cheaper than $5.99 of, you know, it's a yearly, an annual membership, but maybe that annual membership is one time a month for the year. So 12 times total, figure out how you want to, you know, use them. But I don't know if that defeats the purpose of an annual, if annual memberships are to only cover, you know, 12 months unlimited. And do you know that, if that's how all annual memberships are?
I'm not certain.
Okay.
But
so maybe there's one that I can go, you know.
If you have say you have that question, you want to know the difference in memberships packages, or, you know, what you're getting for your annual price.
Yes.
Where would you go to ask that question?
I have to go back up, I'm assuming, to education.
If you instinct. So
that's that's where I'm going to go.
Okay.
And then learn more. But there's nothing there.
Okay.
So maybe, well, that's coming soon. Let's see what my tanning. I mean, worst case, I would chat, but I don't like. I mean, I never use chat.
Okay.
And my tanning doesn't seem to have anything there. I'm going to go back to dashboard. So I don't see it.
Okay.
I don't know if it's there and I'm just missing it just by doing a quick scan. So what I would probably do is, I actually probably want to chat, to be honest.
Okay.
I would wait till I go into the store next.
So at this point, you got stuck on the membership, or, you know, you couldn't find what you were looking for. So at this point, you would say,
when next time I go in, I'm going to ask.
You'll put it on hold for now, and I'll check it out next time.
Yes.
Okay. What have you, overall, what have you found that is most effective about this website and your account?
I would say it's great for people that want, like, I think the best thing is the fact that you can, once you are a member, you can check in, see you can view wait times. So I think that's great. I'm assuming there's probably a mobile app. Is this going to be mobile?
I'm not certain.
Okay, so that would be one thing that I would definitely recommend, because very few of us are by a computer at all times. We always have our phone on us. I mean, I can't think of anyone that doesn't have a smartphone on them to check their, you know, if time is of the essence for someone, they probably have a smartphone that they can check those kind of things. So I think that would be great if they don't already have that in the works to do the mobile, so that you can check in, maybe have it, like, that's my favorite feature, so that would be like the first thing that pops up of wait time at your salon is, or, you know, schedule an appointment now.
Right.
Because if they're doing it on their phone, that's probably why that's going to be my assumption of why they're using it, not to pay their bill, or not to, most people pay their bill on their home computer. So that would be a recommendation if they do go mobile. I think that it could use a little bit more of descriptions, but again, I'm not a current client, so I don't know.
That's exactly why. That's a good thing. So.
Yeah. So just a little bit more in the education tab, I would recommend.
So not as a not current client, having more description.
Exactly. I think overall it's pretty easy to use. Like, it's, you know where to find. I think you know where to find things generally. So I think that's easy. But again, I mean, like I said, I'm only looking at that left-hand side.
Right. Is that something that you're used to? Do you think that this website fits with what you're most used to when you are searching online, or?
I would say normally I think like in the center, and normally I see drop downs like going across rather than vertical. But if it is it's always gonna be on the left rather than the right.
Right.
So it's definitely either on the left or horizontal.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm used to that, and that's why I think it was easy to just automatically take your eyes right over to that side.
Right. Oh, that's a good point. What do you think is something that could be more effective, or?
Well, I think that we already talked about like having more of the educational pieces, like in the actual like the membership options really displayed. When I went into like my tanning and tried to buy the package, I think that the educational pieces should be there without having to click back, because then you lose your spot.
Exactly.
And then you're like trying to write down and remember rather than having it right there in front of you.
Right.
So that would probably be my biggest recommendation.
Okay. Is there anything else that you could think of that you would like to see on this or not see on it as far as a usability standpoint?
I think overall, like, I don't think it's really missing anything. Like I said, as long as they get the mobile app, I don't know how difficult that is. I'm not a computer tech, so so yeah, that's one that I would definitely like to see.
Okay.
But yeah, I think overall it's good. It just has some tweaks, I think.
Absolutely.
I don't really, it's pleasing to the eyes. I mean, the colors and I would probably say that it's a little more girly.
Okay.
Let me go back and confirm. Like, it's more pinks and not. It's like bright, happy colors. Where, I know a lot of guys that do tan, so they're gonna get on. And like you see Vicky, but where is there a guy that tan?
Victor?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So it's definitely. I know that the target market is more females, but I'm sure there are males that do tan as well.